Thank you for joining us on Republic TV. It's 8 p.m. I'm Niranjan, and several videos in fact, from the Ashoka University campus have raised questions over the politicization of several campuses in India. We debate that tonight. Here are the headlines. Yet another controversy hits Ashoka University as students resort to posh casteism, raise anti-Brahmin slogans. As 600 lawyers talk about pressure on Supreme Court, Prime Minister calls out the attempt to browbeat and bully. Big setback for Arvind Kejriwal as the Delhi court extends custody by 4 more days in connection with Liquorgate. United States tries to lecture India, calls for transparent legal process on Kejriwal's arrest, mentions Congress account freeze case. Bollywood actor Govinda joined Shiv Sena in the presence of Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde in Mumbai. Six Pakistani High Court judges have exposed ISI and have accused them of meddling in judicial matters. Anti-Brahmin, anti-Baniya casteist slogans being chanted by students at the Ashoka University campus. Let's play out the visuals of what happened at the Ashoka University campus, and it's now the subject of a big debate. Reminds us of what happened on the JNU campus a few years back. In fact, it's happened more than once on the JNU campus. Provocative slogans, anti-caste slogans, anti-Brahmin, anti-Baniya, Brahmin, Baniya, Murdabad slogans in the Ashoka University campus as the ugly spectre of casteism rearing its head once again, this time on the grounds of the Ashoka University. Once in the limelight for the political stances taken by its faculty, is now engulfed in a fiery controversy over unabashed casteist propaganda on its campus premises. Take a look at the video, some of the videos that have emerged from on campus of the Ashoka University. All right, let's go across. What we'll also do is I'll ask our teams to pull out those videos of what was chanted on campus. We'll play those videos out in just a while. Let me introduce the panelists this evening. We have Deshratan Nigam, political analyst, Vineet Goenka, political analyst, Professor Sandeep Yadav, who's a Dalit activist, and Zubair Memon, president of the Maharashtra Muslim Conference. Let me start with Deshratan Nigam. Deshratan Nigam, you've seen the video, it's all over social media, it's being debated. And when you talk about Ashoka University, has been in the news for taking political stances, right? The university has now put out a statement, and in their statement they have said that the university will take up all measures to ensure peace and harmony in the campus is not disturbed, attaches great value to freedom of expression and a vigorous debate, but it also attaches great importance to mutual respect. Do you sense that when you look at those videos?
Well, sir, one thing is very clear. Having known Ashoka University and some of their directors, it was a hotbed for leftist activities. And some of the urban nexus professors which were there, and they took anti-India stand on Kashmir also and passed a resolution in a meeting once upon a time. So there is a problem out there, and there is a group active, very active out there, which wants to sow seeds of division in our society, caste-based decisions and those caste census and everything. You have a right to protest, but you cannot hurt the sensibilities of the others, and especially the sentiments and feelings of the others. You take up an issue by issue, there is not a problem. You have a debate on caste census. It's a private university, please understand. They have their own policy. If you have an issue, make a representation. And if you think your representation is not being heard, you have the court process, the judicial process available to you. But to, demean Brahmins and Banyas and other sections and only a particular section is superior, no, that cannot be allowed. Should not be allowed. In fact, I am rather worried that the Ashoka University has not taken any action yet on these people. These are clear violations and the crimes under the IPC also. Since I am a lawyer, I can tell you that what they have said is a crime under the Indian Penal Code as it exists now. And therefore, mere warning to these students who are taking a very polarized and divisive stand cannot be, allowed to be brushed under the carpet. Mere warning, it's fine, but some action needs to be taken, especially ones who were in the forefront. Supreme Court is very clear. When you take part in a protest, even if you're not present, but if there are people who have organized it, and if you are part and parcel without being in the front, people who are behind, they are also liable and punishable for the crimes that they are doing. Supreme courts have laid guidelines for such kind of protests. So I am expecting far more, stricter action, so that such kind of, divisive and polarizing comments and statements are not made. And certainly, you have your fundamental rights, but not at the cost of fundamental rights of others, to disturb their fundamental rights. Supreme Court is very clear. You cannot be given unrestricted, fundamental rights where you have freedom to demean and abuse somebody else or somebody's sensibilities. And let us be very, very clear, such things cannot be permitted. We used to have such things in JNU. They have calmed down, and people are doing protests out there. There is no doubt about it. But they have moved away from abusive languages and things like that. And a lot of faculties of the leftist organizations, they have joined Ashoka University. And I know them. The fact remains, and they are the ones who are behind it. They are the ones who are encouraging it. These students are mere pawns in their, games that they are playing. And it is these people who have to be identified, the teachers, the faculty members who are behind it, or the outsiders who could be involved, the outsiders of other, outfits, student outfits having affiliation to communist parties or other parties should also be looked into it. It requires thorough investigation so that tomorrow such kind of things may be prevented from happening. Otherwise, there'll be chaos if the other group, which is there, also comes out with some kind of similar accusations. Then there'll be clear fight in the campuses. It's a private university. It must understand it has a reputation to save, and don't allow few students to tarnish the reputation of the Ashoka University. Niranjan.
Yeah. It's caste hatred. Now, Professor Sandeep Yadav, you see the kind of slogans that are chanted, right? Brahmin, Baniavad, Murdabad.
Yes.
Targeting Brahmins, now Banyas. Do you support this caste hatred on campus?
See, actually, first of all, today morning, one picture came out. I wonder you are not debating on that particular topic, because that's basically defaming. That picture defames a folk singer Neha Singh Rathore. Actually, that came from a media house, G News, and it says that what is the similarity between, they have displayed two pictures, one Mia Khalifa and one Neha Singh Rathore, and they are seeking connections between these two photos, unnecessarily, and that's true coming from a very irresponsible media house. So we must, debate those things also, which are defaming a girl, a woman, a lady from our country. Second thing, our panelist said that the actions must be taken. Actually, an article was written by a very famous journalist from Gujarat, Akar Patel, in 2009. 28th August 2009, he wrote an article, and the title of that basically article is against, is about Baniya Brahmin hegemony. I suppose that my friend has read that article, or you people, since you are from media, you must have read that article. And if you read that article, you won't question these, the slogans raised by the students. Basically, they are not against any community. They are against hegemony. Be it structural hegemony, social hegemony, cultural hegemony, or economical hegemony. Who is controlling the country? So, those students, they informed the university well in advance on 3 issues. The first issue was the anonymous caste census of the university, of the students, employees, non-teaching employees, and the teaching faculties. Because they know in that university, majority of the students, teachers, and the non-teaching staff are from the upper class and caste of the society. So they must be facing the discrimination, especially the ethnic community students and the religious minority students, including the Muslims, Christians, and Sikhs. So basically, and the second demand of them was, that annual memorial, Ambedkar Memorial Annual Lecture to be conducted by the university. And the third demand was to, basically that university, if you fail to pay your fee on time, they stop your particular certain services of the university, like you can't join the this Google classes, mess, and libraries. So they are devoid of certain things when they fail to submit their fee on time. So they were demanding against these 3 things, and there is no equal opportunity cell. Though Ashoka University is one of the reputed and one of the biggest and very, probably the best private universities in the country, where especially the students are from the privileged community, though there are certain marginalized community students also. And you must see, listen, let me complete. There are students also from upper caste, progressive mindset also, who are taking part in this protest. And second, the next point which I wanted to make, the first anti-Brahmin slogan was raised a Brahmin himself. In 1161, Basavanna was born in Karnataka. He opposed his own, privilege. He denounced his own privilege. After that, many social reformers came, and they...
I'm sitting in Karnataka. Let me tell you, Professor.
Yes.
Professor, I'm sitting in Karnataka, and I know about Basavanna. Please don't tell me the history of Basavanna, right? Let me tell you, it is amounting to caste hatred.
I'm not telling you the history of Basavanna.
It is nothing but caste hatred. Those... No,
I'm not making... Since you are sitting in Karnataka, you must be knowing about...
No, I am not denying. Yeah, I am not, I of course know, but I'm also not denying that, there is some sort of discrimination that is reported. We've reported that as well. There is discrimination, caste discrimination in some parts of India. I agree with that. But you will be lighting a fire if students on campus are chanting anti-casteist, anti-caste slogans, anti-Brahmin slogans, anti-Baniya slogans, right? You can't encourage that, even remotely. Vineet Goenka, this is exactly what India has fought in the last 2 and 3 decades, right? We've said merit first, not caste first.
They are saying what they're saying. They're saying what they're witnessing.
Vineet.
Niranjanji, Ram to all
No.
Who's witnessed it?
See, listen. Merit is consist of 3 things.
Who has witnessed it?
Merit is consist of 3 things. Opportunity. Sorry.
Sir, the question is for me. Can I answer it, please?
Who has witnessed it? Who has witnessed casteism? What are you saying? Yeah, Vineet, let Vineet get his say. 2 panelists haven't spoken.
Let me...
Professor, please extend the
Let Vineet come in and then you respond to him. Vineet.
Yeah. Niranjanji, Ram to all my co-panelists and all the viewers who are watching us right now. Now, you have, I'm sure Professor has read the famous book called as Enemies Within. Because if he was talking about some unknown author from Gujarat, one article, I have not read it, but I'm sure the book which has sold more than 27,000 copies, Enemies Within, you would have certainly read it. In that book, Enemies Within, 2-3 clarifications are there, Professor, which will help. One, please do not call Muslims as to be minority because they are second majority of this country and don't insult them. A. B. If this is an ill-informed student, I can understand. If the student wants to have a shortcut fame in the era of social media, I can yet understand. But if it is a planned doctrine, and been malicious to undermine the entire country, then it is a concern. More concern is if the students have become pawns in the hands of people like you who understand the gravity of the situation and deliberately been pushed against one particular community, then it is a concern. Let me tell you one more thing. If there are divisions or there are casteism in Hindus, why didn't the student talk about the casteism in Muslim society? How, Ahmadiyas, Bohris, Chiliyas, Devbandis, Chistis, Sufis are being suffering is in the hand of Sunni. Why don't they talk about that? Then I would have understood, yes, they are talking about class and caste differentiation in to society. Had they talked about, Orthodox, Evangelists, Syrians, Protestants of the Christians, the reason they are specifically talking about only Sanatan caste is because they have been doctrined for this in the election era. The intention is ill, sir. It is enemies within who are trying to push these innocent students against this. Number two, for your viewers, Niranjan, I should tell, in Ashoka is a private university, and I was just checking on internet. What is the fee structure? The first year fees itself is 11 lakhs
Yeah.
40,000. So if there is fees, is 11 lakh 40,000 has been written here for first year. This thing. How do you say that society, they were unable to pay their fees, and the fees has to be paid in advance, it is written there. So professor, please do some homework before you come to national televisions like this. The intention of these 4, 5, 15 students were deliberately to create chaos, have a shortcut fame. My advice through this channel to those students will be concentrate on your future, study well. And my also second request to Ashoka University should be identify those students, take whatever disciplinary actions which is mentioned in the manuals of the university. Number 3, to the SHO, station house officer of the relevant police station, is to invoke all the provisions where they are trying to create riots in the election era. All these rules should be done. So, Professor, one, if you know them, do not misinform them. They have a bright future. They are sharp students who have got selected into one of the good universities. Number 2, to the university, invoke all the disciplinary actions which are there. Number 3, to the SHO, take actions so that it creates an example to another students. And 4, Professor, please tell me how many castes Islam has and how many castes Christianity has? And do they ever speak about this? And do you ever speak against their ill treatments? For God's sake, right now, tell that. केवल सनातन में डिफरेंशिएशन करने की कोशिश करो.
See, listen, can you hear
No,
me?
then
Can you
see,
hear me?
see,
My-
Zubair,
is my
Zubair,
voice clear?
if they want the caste census, can I just get in a view of Zubair also, Professor? Professor, let me get in Zubair's view as well. Let me get in Zubair's view as well, and then you can respond. Let me get in Zubair's view. See, Zubair, if they want caste census, which is what some in the no, they, I'm saying if they want caste census, if these students want caste census and they want to do activism, then they should be activists. They should do activism outside campus, right? They can join politics, right? But on campuses, what's your take on this posh casteism on campus, right? Why don't you give them why don't you give them tickets to fight the 2024 elections, right? When they come to parliament, they'll have a say on whether the caste census should be conducted or not.
बड़ा ही अजीब सवाल है सर आपका. आपने बात बहुत अच्छे से रखी, पर आपका सवाल बड़ा अजीब है.
क्यों अजीब क्यों है सर? अजीब क्यों है?
Am I audible?
अजीब क्यों? ये पॉलिटिकल बैटलफील्ड है क्या? कैंपस या you're audible, but ये कैंपस जो है कैंपस पॉलिटिकल बैटलफील्ड हो गया है क्या?
नौजवान स्टूडेंट कोई आंदोलन कर रहे हैं, गवर्नमेंट के खिलाफ कर रहे हैं, गवर्नमेंट के साथ कर रहे हैं, कोई पॉलिसी के खिलाफ कर रहे हैं, सेंसस के लिए कर रहे हैं, तो आप उनसे कहेंगे कि आप वो आंदोलन छोड़ दीजिए, आप स्टूडेंट पॉलिटिक्स छोड़ दीजिए और आप पार्लियामेंट में आ जाइए. ये तो बड़ी बेतुकी सी बात है और इस बात का मैं ज्यादा जवाब देना भी जरूरी नहीं समझूंगा, क्योंकि वो
अगर पॉलिटिक्स करना है तो पॉलिटिक्स में डूब जाइए ना.
बिल्कुल मुंह ना खोले.
ये सूडो कैंपस पॉलिटिक्स क्या है?
मुंह खोलना है, जिसको तानाशाही के खिलाफ मुंह खोलना है वो लोकसभा इलेक्शन लड़े, वरना मुंह बंद करके बैठे. ये तो बिल्कुल ही फैसिज्म और तानाशाही की तरफ बढ़ते हुए कदम है और वो सवाल भी तानाशाही की तरफ से आ रहा है. खैर, दूसरी बात जो हमारे इसके पहले पैनलिस्ट कह रहे थे, ये कब से अलाउड है जुबैर जी, ये कब से अलाउड है कि जो यूनिवर्सिटीज जब से हमारे यहाँ संविधान है, तब से हमारे यहाँ आंदोलन करना अलाउड है.
वहाँ पे कास्ट स्लोगन्स,
जब से हमारा देश संविधान पे चलता है,
इट अमाउंट्स टू हेट. ये हेट स्लोगन्स बोलते हैं इसको, हेट. ब्राह्मण मुर्दाबाद, बनिया मुर्दाबाद, ये क्या है ये कैसे सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं आप?
अच्छा सर, आपने बहुत अच्छा सवाल किया। ब्राह्मण मुर्दाबाद, बनिया मुर्दाबाद, ये हेड स्लोगन्स आपको दिख भी गए और ये सुनाई भी दे रहे हैं, तो हम सब भी सुन रहे हैं। किसी भी तरीके के मुर्दाबाद के स्लोगन्स नहीं लगने चाहिए किसी एक पर्टिकुलर कास्ट या कम्युनिटी या पर्सन को लेके। और यही हमारी लड़ाई रही है एक साल से कि महाराष्ट्र के जैसे प्रदेश के अंदर जहां से मैं आता हूं, तकरीबन 500 से ज्यादा प्रोग्राम्स ऐसे स्टेज लगा के भाजपा विधायकों द्वारा किए गए जहां पे मुसलमानों के नरसंहार की बात की गई है, जहां पे भाजपा के सिटिंग विधायक स्टेज पे आकर के मुसलमानों के, माइनॉरिटी के, क्रिश्चियंस के नरसंहार की बात करते हैं, तब ये हेट स्पीच कहा जाती है। एक भी ऐसा प्रोग्राम उनका रोका नहीं जाता है, एक भी हेट स्पीच उनकी रोकी नहीं जाती है। और अब ये बात पूरे देश और पूरे समाज को खराब कर रही है। हेट स्पीच के खिलाफ जब बात होगी तो फिर पूरी पूरी होगी। हम ये हेट स्पीच का अगर समर्थन नहीं करते हैं तो हमको पूरे हेट स्पीच का समर्थन नहीं करना होगा। हमारे एक साथी हमसे पहले ये कह रहे थे कि सनातनियों के बीच में ही क्यों कास्टिज्म की बात हो रही है, मुसलमानों के बीच क्यों नहीं बात होती है, क्रिश्चियंस के बीच क्यों नहीं बात होती है। तो वो साथी को हमारे थोड़े जानकारी कम है। देश भर में मुसलमानों की जो रिजर्वेशन की लड़ाई है वो ओबीसी कास्ट के ऊपर ही है। जिन कबीले, जो मुसलमानों के बीच कबीले
जो अत्याचार सुन्नी
है,
करते
ओबीसी
सुन्नियों
है,
पे
वो रिजर्वेशन
या
की
फिर
लड़ाई
शिया
लड़
पे
रहे हैं। और
या
आज भी हम
इदरीस पे या फिर बरेलवी पे,
आप हमारी सुन
उसके
लीजिए,
बारे में बताइए
फिर
ना
आप
सर।
बोलिए।
हमें
आप
पता
हमारी
नहीं
सुन
किस तरह
लीजिए,
से आप लोग
आपका हमने
पुलिस को
सुन लिया
टारगेट
सर।
करते हैं, अमैदा को
आप
टारगेट करते हैं,
सुन
ये
लीजिए
बताइए ना।
सर, हमारी
ये हम
लड़ाई
नहीं
ही ये
बताते।
है कि जो बैकवर्ड क्लास
आपने
के
कभी गाली
मुस्लिम
दिया
है,
क्या?
जो
आपने
कबीले
कभी बोला
पिछड़े
क्या
हुए हैं,
कि भाई
उनको
सुन्नी मुर्दाबाद? ऐसा
रिजर्वेशन
बोला
दिया
क्या
जाए।
आपने? क्यों नहीं बोला?
हमारी लड़ाई ही वही है। कौन बात नहीं कर रहा है? मुसलमानों की रिजर्वेशन की कोई बात ही नहीं करता है। जो
रिजर्वेशन नहीं,
बैकवर्ड
आप
कम्युनिटीज
यहाँ
है,
पे रिजर्वेशन की
बैकवर्ड
बात
क्लास
करते
है,
तो हम
उसकी
आपके
हम
साथ
बात
में
कर
आते।
रहे हैं।
यहाँ गाली
आपको
दे रहे
किसने
हैं, हेड
कहा कि
स्पीच है।
मुसलमानों
आप
के
एक
नीचे
बताइए
जो
ना,
बनिया
आप रिजर्वेशन पे घुमाइए मत, ये बताइए ना कि आपने कभी आवाज उठाई क्या कि भाई बरेलवी
हम
को क्यों
रिजर्वेशन पे घुमा नहीं
हटाया
रहे
जाता है,
हैं,
अहमदिया
हम
को क्यों नहीं दिया
रिजर्वेशन पे ही
जाता है
है।
करने का
हम
हिस्सा?
मुसलमानों की रिजर्वेशन
रिजर्वेशन नहीं,
हम
हेट स्पीच पे
रिजर्वेशन
बात करिए। अगर वो कहते रिजर्वेशन तो मैं आपके साथ
हम
में खड़ा होता, जी भी खत्म खड़े होते साथ में। जुबेर
नहीं
जी,
सर। सर अब
उन्होंने गाली दी है, कास्ट की
महाराष्ट्र
डिबेट करने की
में
कोशिश की। मैं
सर
आपको पूछ रहा हूँ
सर
क्या
आप नहीं
कहानी
खड़े
है कि
हमारे
नहीं
साथ।
इस्लाम में? उसके बारे में बच्चों ने क्यों नहीं बोला? फिर अगर वो बच्चे इतना ही जस्ट कर रहे थे तो
जी सर, मैं
आप लोग
जवाब
सोचेंगे
दूं
आप
आपका?
आंख बंद करके दूध पियेंगे तो सबको, किसी को दिखेगा नहीं, हमको पता नहीं, क्या इसीलिए मैं आपको
जी
कह
जी,
रहा
आपके
हूँ
आपके
प्लीज
सवाल
डिबेट
का
आपको
जवाब
पता
देता हूँ।
चलेगा।
सुन लीजिए,
सुनिए जुबेर
रिजर्वेशन
जी,
तो आप कह
मैं
रहे हैं ना
आपको
हमारे
हाथ
साथ
जोड़ के एक
खड़ा है।
विनती करता हूँ, जरा
सुन
बुक
लीजिए
पढ़िए
सर,
इंग्लिश
हाँ
बुक,
सुन
आपको
लीजिए
पता
सर,
चलेगा।
सुन लीजिए,
समझ,
जवाब सुन
आप
लीजिए,
समझदार आदमी है।
जवाब सुन लीजिए सर।
कास्टिज्म के कारण ऐसा अगर होता रिजर्वेशन तो हम भी आपके सामने खड़े होते कि हाँ रिजर्वेशन होना चाहिए। लेकिन बात यह है
सर
कि
आप
वहां
सुन
जो
लीजिए,
है आप जैसे लोग उनको बरगलाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। तो मैं आपको सवाल पूछ रहा
सर
हूँ,
आप
कभी
बात
आपने
सुन लीजिए,
आवाज
आप
उठाई
सुनना
सुन्नियों के
नहीं चाह
खिलाफ?
रहे।
कभी आपने कहा कि क्यों बोरियों को तकलीफ मिलता है, अहमदिया को क्यों नहीं इस्लाम में गिना जाता है, क्यों आप लोग सूफी
आप
को
सुन नहीं
जो
रहे
डिसाइड
सर।
किया जाता है? बताओ।
सर आप
बरेलवी
अभी
क्यों
भी सुन
परेशान
नहीं
है,
रहे।
क्यों
सब
परेशान
आप
है?
सिर्फ बातें कर रहे हैं।
क्यों परेशान है चिश्ती, क्यों परेशान है चिलिया? ये बताइए, इसके बारे में कभी सवाल नहीं पूछा? क्यों
सुनिए ना
नहीं हुआ?
सर,
महिलाओं के बारे में
सुनिए सर,
अगर आप
जवाब
कहते कि
सुनिए
हाँ
सर,
इस्लाम में जो
जवाब
महिलाएं
सुनिए
हैं उनको भी कुछ
सर।
अधिकार मिले,
आप
उसके
रेटोरिक,
बारे में बात करें सर।
आप
आप
व्हाट्सएप
इतने पढ़े
फॉरवर्ड
लिखे
पढ़
हैं।
रहे हैं सर, आप व्हाट्सएप फॉरवर्ड पढ़ रहे हैं। आप जवाब सुनिए, आप
मैं
तार्किक और
आपको उस बुक
लॉजिकल
का नाम
जवाब
बता रहा हूँ,
सुनिए।
एनीवेज विद इन। मैं आपको
आप
बताऊं,
व्हाट्सएप
आपको
का ज्ञान
जानकारी
पढ़ रहे
कम
हैं सर,
होगी,
इधर आप
आपकी
जवाब सुनिए।
जानकारी कम होगी। मैं फॉरवर्ड पढ़ता नहीं सर, और अगर
सर
फॉरवर्ड भी
आप
पढ़ता
सुन
तो
लीजिए
अंग्रेजी पढ़नी
जवाब।
आती है इसलिए पढ़ता
सर,
हूँ। इसलिए मैं आपको
आप सुन
कहता हूँ
लीजिए
कि
जवाब।
अंग्रेजी पढ़ते, हिंदी
नहीं
पढ़ते,
नहीं 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 आज 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 ये स्लोगन्स, 1 मिनट, एक मिनट,
आप
जुबैर एंड
जैसे लोग
विनीत,
बरगलाते हैं,
सी इज अ
एनीवेज विद इन।
डेंजरस ट्रेंड।
मुझे एक 2 मिनट
देशोत्तर
दीजिए,
निगम,
मैं
एक
जवाब
मिनट,
दे देता हूँ
विनीत
इनका।
1 सेकंड, विनीत 1 सेकंड,
अगर
देशोत्तर निगम,
अनइंटरप्टेड 2 मिनट देंगे
These
तो।
people deliberately incite these
एक मिनट,
students, innocent students.
I just want to bring Deshotta Nigam
Just to
once more
make
into
their
the
political
debate.
career.
Deshotta Nigam is a dangerous
Student
trend,
kind of
right?
characters
Today
will
there are
come and will
slogans.
instigate the students.
Tomorrow there could be violence also, because I just saw a video of them entering a hall, right? And obviously those students who don't resort to this woke casteism, this posh casteism, right? Now, people who don't believe in casteism, right? Many of them may be there on merit, right? Now, this is bizarre. Today there is slogan hearing. Tomorrow there could be violence. And you can't say wah, wah, wah to every such video that comes out and justify that as freedom of speech.
Yes, Niranjan, let me tell you, it's a private university which has to adhere to the rules, regulation, and laws made by that particular state government and also by UGC. And if these students, and as you rightly said, This is the first step, and the second step would be violence if it is not checked. And if you have any problem with respect to reservation, please raise it. Raise it with the administration. Don't, make a basis of Brahmins and Baniya as your basis for hatred to achieve certain objectives. If your objective is to achieve reservation, why bring Baniyas? Why bring any other caste or Brahmins into it? You stand on your own merits. Now, if you have nothing to stand on your own merits, you will talk about Brahmins, Baniyas, and other, castes and creeds. Now, anybody who's very sound on fact and law will never resort to all those things. I never resort to, things, especially when I'm contesting a case inside a court. I never divert it. You have to be very focused what you want to achieve. If you want an Ambedkar Memorial lecture, you should talk to your authority. It's a private university. It has to adhere to the rules. There are certain guidelines also available. Nobody's talking about guidelines. Vineet Goenka clearly pointed out through a book which I have read, Enemies Within. It's a wonderful book. All of us should read. Now, when such kind of things take place, you've got to be very careful. Who are the people behind it? Who are the enemies who are trying to instigate these students? And the guidelines that the university has, it has to be followed. You can't be vindictive towards any other caste. You can't demean them. Brahmins and Baniyas are equally humans. How can you be using all such kind of statements? Tomorrow, the reverse thing can also happen. The only outcome would be violence, as you rightly pointed out, Niranjan. So let us be very, very careful, have self-restraint, and let the university go beyond giving warnings, because these are very serious issues. These are covered under Indian Penal Code. These are violation of guidelines. These are violation of fundamental rights of others to whom they are abusing. Very abusive. These are hatred personified. So let us not idealize such people. Let us speak on merits. If you have issues, focus on issues rather than demeaning anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, you can have a debate. I mean, if there's a debate on campus, you can have a debate. That's fine. You have the right to debate. You have the right to speak. But, chanting hate slogans against a caste, you have views on casteism. You're free to have those views on casteism. No, Professor, I'm running out of time. Okay, I'll give you 20 seconds. Go ahead. Professor Yadav, go ahead. I'll give you 20 seconds to make your point. I'll give you the last one.
Yeah.
Before Honorable Yadav speaks, can I speak for 20 seconds?
What is casteism? I want to make, sir, let me speak. See, I want to make it clear what is casteism. See, there are 4 people in the panel, and you have termed them, 2 of them as political analysts, me as a Dalit activist. I don't know the other friend. So I'm not a Dalit. Actually, basically, I'm a human being. So I'm also a political analyst. I know politics, not better than them, no less than them. So the first thing is that you could have written me political analyst. So the second, this is casteism. See, one of our socialist thinkers, he said, caste is a kind of insurance policy which works without premium. So those students want to sow that thing, and they are not raising any anti-Brahmin slogans. See, if you know history, you go back to Tamil Nadu, the first anti-Brahmin slogan was raised in Sauti
What are you saying? They're not saying anti-Brahmin slogans.
The first anti-Brahmin slogan was raised by Justice Party in Madras presidency. The first in Mysore presidency. So, when the Brahmins were overrepresented in the presidency, the non-Brahmins, they revolted against them.
Okay.
And
I've run out of time. We'll take this. We're debating this again. We're debating this again with Arnab on the debate.
Let me complete.
Professor Yadav, only because of running out of time, I have to interrupt you there because we're debating this again.
Let me complete.
Quickly.
It's a very valid time. Let me complete. I tell you, the students are not wrong. Don't defame them. In our parliament, people say katua, and the other friend, lawyer friend, is saying that this will happen, that will happen, nothing will happen. See, you are afraid of violence. See, a particular community is asked to,
realize one thing.
a particular community.
The students have a right to study. Students have right to protest. Students have right to speak.
Okay.
But the students cannot demean somebody. And you are trying.
Okay, I've run out of time. Professor Yadav, I've run out of time. Vineet Goenka, Reshwata Nigam and Zubair. I've run out of time. We'll debate again. I've run out of time, sir. I have to end the debate. We'll come back. We'll speak again. Thank you very much. We'll speak again. We're debating this also with Arnab at 9 p.m. Thank you very much.